Hi, my name is Bonnie Buffet, and I work here at ACE. I'm an academic mentor for courses in political science, which was also my major, German language, and I'm also a writing tutor. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite topic, studying abroad. Studying abroad is a wonderful experience. It can open your eyes to new possibilities, meeting new international friends, and living and studying on a campus that's different and foreign to your typical known Buffalo State campus. Today we're going to go over the basics of how to get yourself abroad and how to plan to go abroad. The first thing that I recommend assessing is your finances. Before you try to find the program, before you pick the country, go over finances. Because you don't want to pick a place and pick a program that then you realize you can't afford and be devastated. With assessing finances, there's a few things you should keep in mind. First and foremost, as a Buffalo State student, you'll pay your tuition to Buffalo State, and then your housing costs will be paid overseas. This can either work in your advantage or in your disadvantage. For example, I studied abroad in Romania, and my dorming costs were about $100 US a month. So that was a significant savings compared to the Buffalo State campus. The second thing you'll want to go over is cost of living. When you study abroad, you're not going to bring your furniture, your comforter, your pillows, so you're essentially starting from scratch. This means that you'll need about $500 to $1,000 to set up your dorm typically. The third thing to go over is currency exchange. This can work in either your favor or your disadvantage. For example, if you were to study abroad in the United Kingdom, which is pretty popular, $1 from $1.65 US to about $1.85 US would equal £1 sterling. This makes the UK a little bit of an expensive option, but still incredibly rewarding. Another example for me is I studied abroad in Romania, where 3 Romanian lei equaled $1 US, so it was significantly cheaper cost of living. Fourth thing to go over is flights. Airlines can be very, very expensive, but if you book with enough time in advance, you can be able to save a lot of money on your flight. I would recommend booking at least 100 days before. Recommend using sites like Viama.com or Kayak.com to save money. And also, open a frequent flyer account. This may not be the last time you're flying, so you might as well start building up your miles now. Next, immunizations. Perhaps if you're traveling to Africa, you may need to get some. Make sure to check that and figure out all those medical expenses. Visit the doctor. You'll definitely need a physical for anywhere with enough time before you leave. Cultural customs. Before you leave, look up the place and see what the customs are. For example, in Jerusalem and Israel, it's a little bit socially unacceptable to wear shorts to the holy sites. So if you're going to be studying abroad in Jerusalem, maybe think about wearing a little bit longer skirts and longer dresses if you're a female instead of short shorts. Scheduling. This is very important because a lot of the semesters work differently overseas than they work here. For example, in Europe, they typically run, the fall semester goes from October to mid-late February, and their spring semester runs from mid-late February to mid-late July. So keep this in mind. Studying in the spring is typically a lot better because then you wouldn't miss the next semester or be put behind in your academic schedule for graduating. Next to go over is health insurance and administrative fees. When you're applying to study abroad and you go to the fourth floor, the international office at Southwing, they'll go over this more. But typically you're going to pay about $400 to $500 for your health insurance and an administrative fee that's going to be $400 to $500 before you leave. This is very important to keep in mind. Second, we're going to go over finding the right program. Once you've assessed your finances, then it's time to pick the program and the place that's right for you. Ideally, you want to pick a program where you're going to be taking classes in your field and where everything's going to transfer back so you're going to be able to graduate on time. The exciting thing about this is you may have the opportunity to study in a program that's really renowned in the world, maybe more than it is at Buff State. So take advantage of that and be able to meet your faculty overseas. Perhaps they're people that you could study with later on. And the last thing we're going to go over is once you've figured out your finances, you have a program in mind, go to the Southwing. If you're already here, it's only a few floors down. On the 4th floor of Southwing is the International Education Office, and they can set you up, have you fill out the paperwork, and maybe help you find some scholarships if there's any existing in your program. Things to kind of also keep in mind, some last pointers, are that you'll need to fill out a lot of paperwork. Make sure you have your passport here on campus. You may need your high school diploma, your university transcripts, your birth certificate, and another form of identification. I wish you all the best and hope you're able to study abroad. Thank you.
See the world in green and blue. See China right in front of you. See the canyons broken by cloud. See the tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires up.